So it's happened. It's hit the fan. Zombie apocalypse, WROL, SHTF, whatever you want to call it. The event has happened, and now you're trying to figure out where you're going to get supplies or what you're going to do. Or maybe you think you can take all your supplies and you can dress like a military, act like a military, but do you have the logistics of a military? We're going to get into that, so stay tuned. Hey guys, Stag, Wolf and Stag Wastelanders. So, this was brought up in the comments section of one of my videos, and got me thinking, and I wanted to do a video on it. So, we all, as prepared citizens, we all have our kits, we all have our SHTF, Zombie Apocalypse, WROL fantasy. We all have cool guy gear, infantry guy gear, whatever, you know. I have 2 sets of cool guy gear. But are you able, or would you be able to roll out and have logistics? What is the realistic region or distance from your home that you can actually move and operate? So, in a Minuteman, SHTF, without rule of law situation, your immediate concern should be your family and then your community. So obviously you're going to kit up, you know, you're going to go out to do the things, you're going to patrol your area, maybe you live on a homestead. What's your realistic area that you can move? You have a mag out near your homestead. Realistically, you're probably not going to go much further than 20 miles from your home. This is just because logistics. An army marches on its stomach, as once was said by the Romans. And it's true. It's true today as it was true then. So if you're doing the Minuteman thing, you have to be able to resupply. And you have to get more ammunition, you have to have food, you have to have your gear, you have to have, you know, equipment to resupply. Well, do you have mag logistics within your mag? One of the situations that I can talk to from my own personal experience with a mag was trying to set up a logistics team. Guys that, you know, aren't able to go out and do the things that have to be done. It's difficult to set that up. It's difficult to set up the supplies. Everybody has their own amount of supplies and their own kit. And everybody has, you know, different needs for supplies and different ideas. So some guys might have, you know, 1,000 rounds of ammo or 10,000 rounds of ammo, which is great. Realistically, if you're grabbing your kit and you're going and it's SHTF, you're just going to have what's on you. Maybe a little extra. You're not going to have massive supplies and supply drops and equipment. If you and your mag are meeting up, you guys might, between all of you guys, have, let's say, 10,000 rounds maybe for resupply. Well, if your resupply lines get hit by raiders, marauders, whatever, in a zombie apocalypse or an SHTF, you're not going to be able to resupply that easily. And I know you're going, and I know a lot of people are going to say, you know, well, I'll just go out and I'll scavenge off of the dead or whatever, the guys that I take out. Realistically, that's, again, also probably, yeah, you can do it, but it's probably not realistic because you're not going to be wanting to engage in a prolonged activity in SHTF. You're not going to be out there doing these prolonged things and then going and scavenging over. You're going to want to do things from the Art of War, from Sun Tzu, hit and run. You're going to, as a Minuteman, in an SHTF, you're going to hit the enemy and then pull out. You're not part of a state guard. You're not part of a National Guard. And even then, in without rule of law or SHTF, those chains may have broken down, or they've already broken down into their units where they still have cohesion and supplies. They might be turned against you even. So this fantasy of we're going to go and gather what we need off of people, and I hear it all the time, you know, we're going to go and get every part we need and every piece of equipment from other guys. Well, it's a good dream, but this isn't Call of Duty. This would be real life. This would be a situation where you're realistically, your big concern is protecting your family, protecting your community, protecting your friends. And outside of that, you're not going to be going on these vast marches and vast engagements to other cities 100 miles away, or another city 50 miles away. Maybe you have another city 20 miles away. Okay, well, that's realistic. You might go over there and help. Your range is going to depend on your capabilities, your area, and what you know. This also includes your bug out location. So my bug out locations are going to be probably about 70 miles from where I'm at. But I'm going to bug in realistically as long as I can. I may be bugging in with somebody from my mag. My family and I will be bugging in with somebody from my mag, or someplace where we can add extra protection. A friend of mine has property 60 miles away. I might be bugging in with them, and we might fall out, go bug in with them. Realistically, though, you're only going to bug in or bug out to where you can, realistically, where you have supplies, water, ways of purifying water, equipment. You're only going to be able to take what you can fit in your vehicle, which is, kit, rifle, and sidearm. You're not going to be going from here to, in my case, from here to Billings, or here to Denver, or here to Rapid City. I'm not going to be bugging out to these major cities or heading that far. You're going to be dealing with people that are bugging out from there, that are going to be coming up to cause problems and take what you have. So realistically, like I said, your options are very limited. You don't have a supply chain. You don't have the logistics. You don't have people there within your mag that are going to be, their sole purpose is water purification. Their sole purpose is sanitation. Their sole purpose is resupplying you with equipment and weapons, arms. You might have a handful of guys that their sole purpose is to protect the bug out location. But then that also falls on everyone. You're not going to have your sole purpose of people where they're going to be acquiring food. And that's why I bring it up in the video about the tribe and leadership and finding positions, is why you need to find what your role is. Like, some people are going to be out hunting and getting food. Some people are going to be horse trading for food. Some people are going to be out there defending the property. Some people are going to be rendering medical aid. So finding your role within a mag, using the skills that you already have, you're still going to be pulling dual roles. You're going to be scavenging, you're going to be issuing equipment, you're going to be gathering gear, but you're not going to be doing just one primary role, because you don't have that many people. Now, eventually more people are probably going to join, but then you have to weed out the ones that have nefarious ideas from the ones that are there because they genuinely need help. But initially, and as always, you're going to have people that don't want to be involved in it. They're just going to sit back. They're not going to do anything. And you're going to have people that are protecting locations, protecting stuff. And far too often we look to the glorious things of it. We don't look at the realities. We don't need to look any further than Ukraine when the invasion of Russia, or invasion by Russia, happened, to see how quickly things break down and how quickly those supply chains are broken. The same thing is with the conflict in Israel and the West Bank. The event happens, things break down, the military comes in to restore order. Well, in a real SHTF, the military's not there to restore order. A real zombie apocalypse, the military's not there to restore order. It's on the prepared people. And if you're going out there thinking, I'm going to be Billy Badass and I'm going to confront everybody right away and I'm going to set up these assault teams and these raid teams, realistically, you're not going to right off the bat. And if you do, you're going to be in for frankly a world of shit. Because your primary goal should be protecting your family, protecting your mag, protecting your supplies. Those are your primary goals. But the realistic thing of it is you're not going to have logistics guys. You're not going to have this train of equipment. You're not going to have quick reactionary forces. You're not going to have assault teams. I mean, you might create your own assault teams. But the realistic nature of it and what we can look at is you're going to generally not go any further than 20 miles from where you live. Realistically, that's fairly realistic. You're going to protect an area 20-mile radius. You're going to only move 20 miles from your bug out location or from your bug in location. You're only going to realistically be moving 20 miles from there, because you have to be able to get back quickly to get the equipment you need. If you need to rearm, you're going to go back to where you're bugged in or to a central point where you have everything. You're going to rearm and you're going to get back at the things. You need medical treatment, you're going to go where you can get medical treatment, and again, within 20-mile radius. So we wouldn't have in SHTF and Minuteman scenarios or without rule of law or zombie apocalypse, you're not going to be leaving any further than 20 miles away, because you're not a military. You're not moving as a military. You don't have enough people. You might have 15 to 20 people in your mag, and that's a great mag. Not everybody's been active, not everybody's been training, not everybody's realistically has been involved in prepping supplies. Not everybody is at the same skill levels as certain people. Those that have been in professions where they have to be proficient with firearms are going to be more prepared and more adept at using them and knowing when to employ them and when to do the things. Those that have special skills such as SWAT or military, or they spent 20 years in conflict, no, they're going to be the ones that are going to be doing that kind of stuff in an SHTF Minuteman scenario. Everyone else is realistically not going to be doing any of that. They're mainly going to be on a defensive footing. They're going to be protecting what supplies they have, what supplies the group has, the mag, the bug out location. They're not going to be going out there and being, the door kickers. You might have some guys that are, that are real badasses that will be going out and doing the door kicking things. You might have some guys that have worked as a team to do the door kicking things. But even they are not going to be going out unless it's a long-term SHTF, and now they have to be on the offensive footing. A Red Dawn scenario, yeah, they absolutely probably will. So, some of the problems I hear, or some of the things I hear from people in this community and in this whole thing or in this whole, wide genre of stuff is, they don't talk about the realities of not having logistics. They say, okay, well, I've got my mag, and these are even guys that were in the service too, and they're saying, well, I've got my mag, we've got a homestead, they've got a homestead, they've got this, they've got that, I've got friends, all my neighbors. They go through this whole list of things, but they don't have the reality of the logistics. A lot of those people may not have the training that they have. So they're not looking at, okay, well, we need to combine all our supplies, combine our stocks, and now we're going to go on the offensive, so we need to have somebody that can run out there, give us a resupply when we call on the radio. Somebody that's going to run out and, scout. We're going to send out scouts. Realistically, it's just not going to happen in SHTF. Realistically, you're going to bug out with your mag, or bug in with your mag. You're going to pool resources, and you're going to, you might send patrols out to go find people that need help, but that's going to be on a very limited basis. Your main goal is going to be protecting the mag, protecting your family, protecting, those in the mag, their families. So realistically, you're not going to actually go out and do things. You're only going to do things, and it's hinted on a lot by some guys. Some guys do some very good videos regarding that. You're only going to be offensive when you have to be. Realistically, in a Minuteman scenario, or a shit hits the fan without rule of law, you're realistically only going to go out and make contact. So I'm going to talk in the next video about realistic scenarios, but this video was mainly about realistic scenarios of supplies and logistics. How you're not going to move out and have a massive amount of, you're not going to have a supply drops. Your realistic goal is going to be setting in, protecting your family, protecting those around you, and realistically, you're not going to move anywhere more than 20 miles. You're not going to have the teams, you're not going to have the numbers. So guys, if you guys will stay tuned or come in for the next video, we're going to talk about the roving teams and the recce teams in SHTF. And as always, guys, this has been Stag with Wolf and Stag Wastelanders, and I'll see you in the wasteland.